10, 5, 4, 3,
action.
2,
Your arms move.
1,
action.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
We are back for episode 19.
19.
Of Foot on Your Neck.
Yeah.
Foot on Your Neck. I always want to say incorporated afterward, because that just seems the most appropriate term.
Yeah, we're still not incorporated.
Yeah, not at all. But you know what? Who cares? Like, y'all know what it is. But it's a blessing to be back.
As always, we're here to apply the motherfucking pressure.
Yes.
The motherfucking pressure.
So, this week,
yeah,
we're continuing on. We've decided, okay, we've been trying to figure out new topics. Like, because we're out of college. And, like, we've been thinking of some things. So, like, last week we did Black capitalism. And today, I don't know, our topics have become more broad. I don't know. A little bit more in depth.
They have a je ne sais quoi.
Yeah, je ne sais quoi.
A je ne sais quoi about things. A je ne sais quoi.
This week we are talking about.
It has nothing to do with French.
Black excellence.
Black excellence. Like, I don't know. I feel like this one is still churning. I feel like everything that we talk about, we talk about things that like truly like question us and baffle us every week. But this one is really like I'm still chewing on it.
It's like
still chewing on it.
Something that just sits in the back of my teeth that I don't know. Sometimes they rub me the wrong way. Sometimes like
yeah,
okay, like
it's like.
But I don't know. Sometimes I don't want to be like a killjoy. So I just
be like shutting up like
yeah, let me stop.
Because black people do excellent shit every day. Like, wake up, excellent. Go to bed, excellent. So I'm always like in approval, but it's sometimes like, it feels, we'll dig into it later.
Yeah.
But I feel like what really triggered this was Black is King.
Yes.
First of all.
Yes.
I can't explain how much I loved it. I
didn't finish watching it. It was an hour 30 and I came in not expecting watching it. It's long, but it's very beautiful.
It's beautiful in the more that I like. I've watched it like 2 times already, and every day I wake up I'm like I need to watch it again because I really love the story that is trying to be told. I'm just a sucker for the fucking It's not need for me to curse. I just love the circle of life story. I forget what the trope is, but like the like finding your path. I really feel like I resonate with that story, and I feel like it's a very relatable story. It's literally the story from The Lion King. Yeah. You know, that has been repeated in so many new movies and TV shows, and you know whatever we see nowadays.
But interpreted in like a
seeing it interpreted. In a new way visually and with a different context, I think is really cool and it's so beautiful. I just love so many things about it, but also there's so many things that I also think are points of critique.
Right.
But it's so beautiful. Like, it gave me chills and I'm like, whoa, like, it's beautiful.
I think I also was able to finish it because there's so much going on. Like, there's so many, I think just thinking about the magnitude of how much it takes to create things on that level and like different scenes, different hair, different colors, like it was just, I think that was kind of overwhelming for me because I love projects that are creative and like on like big and like it's just, I don't know, the magnitude is just so large that I don't think I can comprehend that it was created, you know, like because I've never made anything on that scale.
I think what impresses me a lot about it too is the fact that like it's so many Black artists collaborating on one project. I can't really, and maybe because I don't know enough, but I'm not like, I haven't learned enough of like history period either, but like this is like a brilliant modern example of like a whole bunch of Black artists collaborating on something.
Yeah.
You know, like when was the last time we heard of that? Because I only think about like the Harlem Renaissance, you know, or like maybe the 60s.
You're right, yeah.
I think that's really beautiful. And then even on top of that, for it to be for international Black artists to be employed and for them to create something that is in conversation with the entire diaspora is beautiful because
That's rare as well.
It's rare because we always seem to think that African American artists in art and thought are at the front of blackness's interpretation artistically, and that is so not true.
Very Western thinking.
True. Yeah, and then part of it too is that, like, me personally, I've been making it an effort more lately to seek like work by black artists outside of America, but I still don't know enough, so it's just overwhelming and like really beautiful to see that also. But yeah, I feel like the conversations around black excellence and like all of the imagery and the powerfulness and the allusion to like Africa and richness and royalty has really brought up this notion of black excellence.
Yeah.
And I don't know. And even us like graduating from UCLA, right. People like true black excellence, black queen. Yeah, you know what I mean? I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, like it. Like,
I don't know.
Just okay, we'll get into it.
Yeah, we'll get into
like
it.
Let's define black excellence first. Yeah. Y'all know we love a good definition.
Yeah, and as you can see, our setting has changed because we gotta get comfortable. Yeah. You know, because we're sitting here talking to you real from the heart, the mind, and the body. So we just chilling. Mm-hmm. We chilling. We got tea.
Yes.
Chamomile, and we got it popping. Okay.
It's actually lemon echinacea, but okay. Oh. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. Sorry. Okay, so we have two definitions of black excellence. And what's so interesting, it was hard to find one. Like,
yeah, right, yes, which also I think is
a point.
A point. Yeah, because I brought it up as like, it's one of those terms that we kind of just came up with. Yeah, Greg Calvert came out the air, and then everybody started using it, but it was only used in certain contexts. Yeah. Like, especially around the time when like people graduate from school, or like, I don't know, they become a doctor, or what else? They like start a business or something.
Somebody get a job.
Yeah, very like specific.
Post a cute picture.
Yeah, like black excellence. Oh wait.
It's very shiny. It's only used in moments where black people are seen as shiny and like perfect, you know?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah,
you
like,
know?
Yes.
Which sometimes can mean fitting some standards that are very anti-black. But anyways, okay. So the definition on what's that website? Urban Dictionary. The Urban Dictionary definition is this: someone that is black and portrays great qualities and abilities that make the black community proud. For example sentence: LJ is the perfect example of black excellence because he's going to Harvard. I'm sorry, I have to laugh.
Very Facebook.
Very Facebook. And then, y'all, there's a whole website, blackexcellence.com. They call it the Black Excellence Mindset. The Black Excellence is the mindset backed by continuous action to look within ourselves and act in the ways that progress our communities without discrediting the effective forces outside of our communities.
That definition, honestly, I'm still thinking about that and what it means. It's a little confusing for me, and I think it's the last part where, like, without discrediting, like, past. Like, I don't know, how does that relate to the first part?
I don't like the word act. I don't like that word. Because is it a performance? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that means that we're altering.
Right. We're choosing to act in certain ways.
So, like, what does that mean that black excellence is conforming to, you know?
Right. Like, that only makes me think of like shucking and jiving. That's what it sounds like to me.
I don't know.
We talk about a good shuck and jive.
I don't know.
The definition, I don't think the actual action of black excellence or the idea of black excellence has to align with that. But this definition makes me think of
and aligning with shucking and jiving.
Yeah.
You know, the same way we're examining black excellence, maybe one episode we need to examine shucking and jiving because
again,
we all do shuck and jive every now and then just to survive. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like, I don't know. I feel like sometimes it's wrapped up in elitism in the same way that I think black excellence could probably be too, you know?
Yes.
So it's like,
Yes, black excellence and elitism, I think, go kind of hand in hand.
No, yeah. The talented
They really do. Yeah.
Yeah, the talented Tim.
Like, okay, like I do all these things, yes. Like I own all these cars, and I was able to fight my way to the top, but y'all over there, y'all out there living with the way y'all do and in the streets and et cetera, like, that's not Black excellence. That's the air that it gives me.
That is the air.
And I think that's embedded in the idea itself, like, a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And yeah. Okay, before we dig into, like, our critique or possibly negative implications that it brings about, let's talk about the positives.
Yes.
I think...
Because there are.
Yeah. I think that I think the most positive thing about it is, like, the very Black History Month positive about it. You know what I mean? Like, seeing people that look like you accomplish goals and help you feel like you can aspire and feel uplifted and comforted and motivated. I think that that's so important, even beyond, like, we can't take race out of it, but just feeling recognized, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And being able, like, because when it was in elementary school, like, 4th grade, I remember, like, Black History Month lessons so clearly, and, like, looking at, like, Madam teacher Walker, whoever it was, and I'm like, okay, that's a Black woman. And, like, understanding that I, too, was Black, you know? Being in a school of people who weren't Black. I think that particularly is an important part of Black excellence that I think is very positive. And, like, role models, like, young children, people who are formative, are anybody, because it's not even just youth, but, like, any human can use some inspiration, but particularly, like, people who are in their formative stages of their life, having
examples
is important.
Knowing, like, that, I think using Black History Month as a way to describe it is a good one. It's a good way to describe it, because it's like, that's, like, proud. Like, okay, like,
pride.
Yeah, like, pride. Yeah, like, oh, me and my people's, like, we good. Like, you know, like, we do cool things.
This.
Yeah, we do this, like, the back of our hand, and we've been doing this since the forever. Beginning of time. Yeah, like, and it'll always be that way. The beginning of time. Yeah, so it's like, okay, even back then when shit was quote-unquote worse, like, Black people were still excelling to, like, crazy levels, and they still are now. So, like, that's, like, the pride aspect of it. And
I think part of it, too, I'm glad that you brought up, like you highlighted the history part, because in some ways, Black excellence, I don't know, it feels like it discredits, and that's why that definition was interesting, and I think this is what I was trying to get at, that they didn't want to discredit the fact that, like, Black people's existence has always been snuffed by whiteness. But sometimes it feels like it doesn't acknowledge that. You know what I mean? Yes. It's like, in spite of, we persisted. And it makes it seem like all these high performance achievements, like starting a business or, like, getting $1 million are the only way you can be proud of your Blackness, when sometimes being Black and alive is enough for a Monday.
More than enough. Yeah.
That's all I can do today.
Like, that's all I can just breathe today. And
all I can do today is be Black and breathe.
Yeah.
And I have nothing else to give. And that should be celebrated too. But yeah. Oh, I kind of brought it up. Like, celebrating survival and existence as resistance is a beautiful thing that I think can be incorporated into Black excellence as a positive thing. It can be, but I think our usage of it is sometimes just so tied to elitism that it isn't, you know?
Yeah. We don't get to see it in that way.
Yeah.
Or understand it in that way, because we understand it in other ways.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I think also, like, the Black history point, like, recognizing that Black people are, like, innately talented and skilled. Like,
like,
I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. I think it is innate.
Yeah. it's so innate.
Like, like,
a crack ain't got nothing on me. Damn, what's going on the internet?
Them crackers. Them crackers.
Oh, shit. I don't give a fuck. Okay, anyway. But, like, I've just always been amazed by Serena Williams. Like, I remember as a young girl just being like, and even now to this very day, I'm like, And I think she needs to be, particularly her, she needs to be celebrated so much more. Like, she's a glaring example of just excellence out of the gate. And not even, like, in yes, it's because she's a Black woman, but just, like, her work ethic. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
yes, it's so admirable. Yeah, like, and I was going to say, it's like, just that alone. You're right. Like, it doesn't, it, like, outside of her Blackness, it's just, that's amazing. That's lovely performance. That's, like, you know.
Love that.
You know?
Yeah.
And her energy as well.
Yeah. So I think, like, Black excellence has done a good job of celebrating talented, like, talent and skill.
Right.
and highlighting that, because sometimes it's hard to see those things or recognize those things because it's like, shit, I gotta go out into the world again today, you know? And I think sometimes it's been a great reminder of like, hold the fuck up. I does, you know what I mean? Like,
I do this like the back of my hand, like, you know, like like
Beyonce said, look.
Yes. Anyways.
But I does this.
Right.
And then even like another positive, but like there's just so much communal celebration within that.
Community.
And like unity and celebrating and recognizing like the damn near genetic like
ability, capability
to
like,
be great.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like
in multiple ways. More than more than one most of the time.
Yeah, like you can depend on Facebook to point out some black excellence.
Yeah, your aunties in the comments, they sure will tell you how
your church
excellent
family
you are.
members on Facebook.
And they don't care.
They'll let you know that you're great. I made a damn wig. I made a wig and I posted a picture of myself and my mom would go put up there, look y'all, Nia made a wig, da 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 da. Everybody was so proud and happy.
That's loyal.
I'm like, y'all celebrating making a wig?
Yes.
It didn't
and
make
that's
sense.
excellent.
It is, but I'm
that's
like,
exceptional.
I'm like, okay, whatever. But like, you can depend on them to celebrate your new shoes from the warehouse shoe store.
The smallest thing. And that's what matters.
But yeah. And I think part of it too, that I think it's a bit of a gap, but I think it could be a really like amazing frontier for us to use or like take on our capabilities to imagine. Like imagine what, like how can we stretch and push and interrogate like all of the great things about what it means to be a part of the African diaspora. Like I think Black excellence is such a great place to like begin to imagine those things and to like have the audacity to like proclaim and like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To expand Blackness on all frontiers. But I don't think it's being used in that. I haven't seen it being used in that for that purpose.
Or I don't even think I've challenged myself.
Exactly.
Enough, you know, to think of Black excellence in that way, and like what else? What other shit can I accomplish as a Black individual and as as a community and like as a diaspora? Like, you know, thinking bigger and bigger and bigger. But, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm hopeful because I think that imagination is just...
It can go anywhere.
I think literally it's so anywhere. Powerful. Like how last week I was like, yeah, money is not going to get us free. Imagination is the way. Like, if we don't have that, or at least my philosophy in my life is if I don't have that, I'm a goner. Like,
oh, yeah. As a fellow
goner
water sign, if I don't have an imagination, who am I?
I'm a goner.
But also just the Black imagination is...
Yes, the radical Black imagination.
Yes. In thinking of ways that...
is in need of love today.
Put coins in her basket, y'all. You want to help a nigga like Nia?
No, I'm talking about the radical Black imagination. We need to start a fund for that. Because some niggas need it. Let me tell you. Woo! Okay.
Actually, that reminds me, I need to read some books. But... trying to expand my mind.
Expand my mind. Yeah, we over here are expanding.
Yes, expansion
okay?
Only.
Your screen, we're out of the frame. No, you gotta stay, look, push it, yeah. Yeah, see? Okay. I think this one's gonna get a little convoluted, but follow me. Like, Black excellence is also a commodity.
Yes, okay, when Nia brought this up, go ahead. I explain it as thoroughly as you can. I want to talk about this and dissect it with you and see if I could come to a point.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like high performance Blackness are like just Black people who can perform. And by perform, I mean like anything, like perform, achieve, like just using us graduating from like UCLA or any Black person graduating from any like really prestigious university across America, and that being interpreted as being high performance and worthy of higher value in the context of whiteness is a commodity because it allows you access to jobs, money, people, relationships, really a lot of things that Black people who aren't perceived as excellent don't have access to. And that's a problematic space, but we can't deny the fact that for some people it's literally been a source of livelihood and a way to navigate capitalism, being an excellent Black person. You know?
That makes me think of like leverage, like you know, like okay, well I can do all these things, so like you know, you need me, like or whatever space that you're in, or, like you know, in that sense. So I see where it comes in terms of a commodity. It's a hot commodity, and
it's also because I don't think we've pressed through to what we mean by Black excellence truly, because is the definition of excellence when we say Black excellence being defined by Western Eurocentric standards, or is it being defined by standards that we've decided upon within the diaspora?
Yeah, and I think for the most part, I don't think we've gotten there
yet.
To have it defined, like things that align with like what we want to see, like, or what we define as like excellence or success or within the diaspora. It's still definitely a measure against like whiteness and like where you're able to fit in within that, and like how well can you do that?
Because you know, even all the examples that I feel like we've listed of Black excellence, like probably like excluding Serena Williams and like, you know what I mean, like individual examples, like owning a business, graduating from UCLA, all this stuff is like it has capital attached to it, and it's capitalism, an idea that the diaspora needs.
Fuck no.
Exactly. So it's like when we say Black excellence, what are we saying? You know what I mean? Are we saying you've done a good job of aligning yourself to whiteness and you have all these advantages now? Woo!
Right.
Is that what we're doing?
Advantages.
Is that what we're doing? Because you know what I mean?
Yeah. It kind of is, but I don't think most people think of it that way.
Yeah.
To be really honest, or understand, or like I feel like that's more of a distant thought. Is that the word for it? Or like a very like. It's not in the forefront of the understanding of Black excellence. Yeah. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it's just a question I have. And I think it may be a subconscious thing because we all do gotta survive this shit whether we like it or not.
Unfortunately.
At until we're out of it. Blow it up. Yeah. Survive long enough to light the match.
Yeah. Write that down. No, I'm just kidding.
We're like.
I like that. That's funny. It really feeds the chaos with you.
Yeah, Jonna is a pyro.
I'm not a pyro. Just damn, I just want to blow some shit up. Is that okay?
That's good. You're being truthful about your anger and the ways in which it can be resourceful in the revolution, and I admire that about you.
Oh, thank you. Moving on.
Yeah, moving on. We've kind of dug into the cons a little bit already, but now we're going to address them more clearly. My thing, meritocracy. Saying that being excellent is what qualifies you for acceptance is a problem.
Like, okay, go ahead.
It's a problem, especially when, like, we know that in some ways, whether conscious or subconscious, our definition of excellence has a lot to do with white Western standards. It's a problem because Black people who don't have the privilege or the positionality to align themselves to those definitions or those opportunities are just inherently fucked.
Yeah, you know and considered not excellent.
Yeah, like thinking about my own academic trajectory. Like, I feel like one of the only reasons I got the opportunity to go to a really good school is because, what is it, a good school? I don't know. But to go to a school that has notoriety, because y'all can decide for yourself if you say it's a good school. But to go to a school with notoriety, it was only because my mama didn't let me go to LAUSD in my early educational career. I think that's the only reason. Yeah. Like, I went to private Christian schools, and then I went to charter schools, and then I went to schools all the way across the fucking 91 freeway. You know what I mean? Like, so I think that it's particular, like, opportunities and privileges that allot you to have merit. Right. You know? Right. And I think that that's a con of Black excellence.
You're really right, especially in terms of, like, people who don't have the resources or the privilege are really just, like, left to die. I don't know. Like essentially,
they are left to die.
You know, like because then it's like, when are you ever gonna get the opportunity, like, or the opportunity to attain, like, to be able to go to like specific schools, or like, you know, have the drive to even go to college and apply to like whatever the fuck. But like, it's just, that's sad. I don't even know how to explain it in any other way, but
it is. But
that makes me upset.
It is, but we also can't like not acknowledge the work of like organize. Like, I feel like there's a lot of like organizing around like particularly like educational equity and things like that. So there are people doing the work to fill in the gaps, but that doesn't negate the fact that the system is setting up the meritocracy in the first place. You know, so it is sad. It's sad because it's like, even if it's not a physical death, it's an emotional death, a spiritual death, a mental, you know what I mean? Like, in more ways than one, you're being told to cease, you know?
Right.
And that's never going to be okay with that.
Disgusting. Y'all, white people really did a number.
Yeah. The devil
did a number, and I'm waiting for the universe to check that balance. I was thinking about that today. I said, when is the world finna balance out? Because there's 2023. We talk about this a lot. Like, you've said this before, like, you know, just in terms of like thinking about hope, like, there's something has to even out. I think we're evening out now, or the start of even out. Some things, I don't know. I don't know what's gonna even out the evils of the world, but something is gonna have to happen. But anyway,
this is tangential, but I think that I'm a firm believer in, like, even in the midst of chaos, like, it has to end. Like, this too shall pass. And I don't know if I believe that we get into the end of the chaos.
Oh no, not the end.
I mean, like, but if there's
it's breaching.
I don't know, but I do know that better things are coming, because they have to. That's life.
That's how things work.
Yeah, and our perspective is probably what has to change. You know what I mean? Like, our perspective is what might have to change in the face of chaos, and not the chaos. I don't know, because maybe it's necessary chaos. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's all about perspective, but we're moving on. Maybe that's a whole different episode. That might be a whole different episode. What? Chaos.
Oh, I would love to talk about chaos and what's chaotic and what isn't.
A philosopher.
Yes.
Somebody with some guidance. Maybe a young one. Okay, let's move on. Let's move on. We're not talking about Ayala today. Respectability.
Yes.
And I feel like this kind of ties into meritocracy too.
Yeah, it does. Absolutely. Because we kind of touched on it earlier with just like being qualified as like another term for Black excellence would be Black exceptionalism. So like being exceptional, like kind of like, okay, so who are you exceptional to? And
what is the rule?
Yeah, what are you measuring against? And why? Like I don't how do I word this better? But go ahead.
No, I think you're right.
Yeah.
And it's like, first of all, we don't have to be excellent to be respected.
That part.
We should not have to be excellent to be respected. And we should not have to be excellent to be deserving of our lives. And we should not have to be excellent to validate our Blackness, because our Blackness is not a deficit. You know what I mean? Like, it's not. It's just not. It's just not. And that just really bugs me, because I think that points out the problem with our language. You know what I mean?
Yes, like, because it does imply that there is things that are not excellent that like Black people embody or like have characteristics of, whether that's them being considered quote unquote ghetto, or like we talk like, or just being a single mother, or
being a sex worker.
Yeah, that as well. Like, or just like there's a plethora of things that are considered not excellent in the eyes of like whiteness, or just like,
because you got you know, when you're drinking the juice and you don't have the correct or the loving lens to view Black people's positionality across the globe, of course you're gonna think of them as not excellent. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like, who also is doing, like, who who is putting on the lens and saying, yeah, that's excellent, that's not, that's excellent, that's not.
You're right. How did we create that?
It's the
so
white people
weird.
in the upper echelon Negroes. I mean, I don't know. That's just my stab at, I think, who's perpetuating the respectable definition around black excellence.
Yeah. That's funny. That makes me think of older black people. I feel like they have an interesting view of what is excellent, what isn't, but it's mainly coded by survival, I would say. 'Cause
that's a good point.
I feel like my family pumped the idea of you have to go to college in order for you to do something and be able to, like, make us proud and be a good person and yada leak. But, like, that's not... I don't know, after further evaluation,
it's like,
that's not what's going to make me happy, and or, like, you know, that's not what's going to make me feel like I'm an excellent person, or, you know.
You pointed out a good point, too, that I'm just thinking about, like, historically, like, the generational shift that I feel like is happening. Like, our generation is just so not concerned with those things. I don't think,
at all.
Like,
at all.
Buy a house, get a 9-to-5, marry someone, have kids, get life insurance, retire, die. We're not like...
There are some people,
okay. Yeah, let me not speak for everybody.
Yes.
But I think that the people that I, like, know and think of when I think about, like, who is in my generation of people, I don't think that that's at the forefront of how we're thinking about how we want to live our lives.
Right.
I think, from my perspective, and maybe just people I know, that we're most invested in, like, how can we get out of this motherfucking hamster wheel.
And have fun.
and, like, actually... you know, explore things that weren't explored, but I think it's generational, like you know, like boomers and being like, gotta work a 9-to-5, gotta do this, which comes from a place of like surviving,
right?
And we can't like disrespect that, but it also is like we have to undo that still, you know, in order to imagine the future and move into the future. We have to take that off,
right?
Rather, without being disrespectful, but being like, that's not
you
enough.
You don't fit no more, right?
Yeah, that's not enough, but you know what I mean? I don't know. I don't
it's
want to
be
not disrespectful
working anymore.
Yeah.
It's not that might have worked back then, or like, you know, it was just enough, but it's a lot different now.
Yeah.
We have other things that I think are more concerning, and you're right. I think now, in terms of like, I don't want to just survive. Like, I think that's something that
and
we're
we
thinking
deserve
of.
more than survival.
Right. We can do other things.
Yeah.
We can have fun too.
Okay. I think the last con, blame and like lack of acknowledgement. I think particularly blame because kind of how like we were talking about like deficit thinking and like the definition and language when we talk about black excellence and like how it kind of situates itself in a binary. Like it just fails to acknowledge that, and sometimes fails to acknowledge that whiteness is evil. If black is excellence, whiteness is evil because we have to have something to push up against. You know what I mean?
Right. Yes.
And that struggle needs to be acknowledged to create more space for forgiveness for black people who aren't interpreted as excellent. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And that blame is not situated where I think that it should be, more so than us being like, well, we're excellent, you know?
And in comparing, like, just having a comparison within our own, like, community or, like, diaspora community.
Yeah.
Like, when that's really not what we... You're right.
What
we need to be doing, like, we need to be, like, I don't know. Everything can be excellent.
Yeah.
Black people are excellent, period, across the board.
Yeah.
Without any type of term, if we do need one.
Yeah.
But the real enemy, is whiteness and capitalism and et cetera, et cetera.
And then, like, I think the respectability part of it too is that black people who are in the exceptional category or the upper middle class or whatever privileged category situate the blame for our oppression, or place the blame for our oppression on black people who they don't deem as excellent. When we can't blame black people for black oppression
at all.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yes.
We can't do that.
That just, I don't know. That's
very cracker like.
So ugly.
It smells.
So yeah, it smells wrong.
It smells like saltines.
Ritz.
You know what's crazy? I don't know Ritz is crackers. Like when I think cracker.
You said Ritz and then cracker.
I know it is a cracker, but to me they're colored crackers. I don't know. comment your opinions on that. That's a little controversial, but I don't know. Do you think a Ritz is white? Anyways,
Saltines was a good one.
Yeah. That's why I'm like, I had to challenge you on the Ritz. I'm like, is it?
It's
okay.
so funny.
Anyways,
but blame.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think it's also, I pulled this quote from an article. The notable difference between black excellence and white excellence is that white excellence is achieved without meeting resistance in the form of institutional racism. So, like, the fact that white mediocrity is a thing and white mediocrity is celebrated as a form of, like, white excellence and, like, has always made me really mad, because to me, black people are just innately and have always been excellent. So the fact that mediocre white men particularly is what makes me mad. The fact that they like get to do things and get things without being above and beyond in the ways that they have made black people prove themselves to be.
Right.
Makes me angry.
Yeah, and it's infuriating.
It's infuriating because it also is not like,
I don't need to go the extra mile.
Yeah.
Like that's annoying. But I also think it's infuriating, but it also motivates me, because it's like, okay, well, I think especially in terms of like trying to push myself in like whatever occupation I want to do, or like applying for positions, or just like trying to attempt to do something new. It's like, well, this person did it and like they didn't do a good job, or
and
like
I know I'm better.
Yeah, I know I'm better, so I'm about to do it. Like, you know, like it's
but also the thing is like, it's inhumane that our fortitude is the thing that gets tested. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
That I have to sacrifice that emotional, spiritual energy to put in that much more. It's inhumane. Like, it's literally wrong. You know what I mean? Because I know that I'm always going to persevere. But the fact that I have to apply more pressure to survive when you meet no hurdles. Yeah. That is a problem. And we sometimes, when we talk about black excellence, we don't acknowledge that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's a gap. There's a gap between white excellence and black excellence. Yes. And that it's not just like we can pull up our bootstraps, American dream type shit.
It's not easy.
That's not what it is at all. Mm. And that is a gap too, and I think that exists when we use the word or like invest in that idea.
One thing the article that also mentioned, we'll link it down below, it's actually really good. Mm-hmm. They pointed out that like the term implies that like excellence is a rarity, like, which is what we kind of mentioned that, we kind of like alluded to it. I was saying it for the end. Oh, okay, yeah, but I think that was that was one of the first sentences in it, and it caught my eye, because I was like, wow, that is true. Like, we think that like it's few and far between.
No, ma'am.
That like this person excelled in this way. Mm-mm. Like, that's not, especially as if we're looking at the entire diaspora community. Come on now.
Black excellence is so commonplace. It feels regular. It's when we wake up.
Yeah, like
it's when we go to bed. It's right now. Look at you. Look at me looking at you.
We're on YouTube right now.
Look at me looking at you. Yeah. Excellent. Just because, okay?
Right.
Just because. Just off of GP. Just off of GP. I don't care if you shitty. I don't care.
Okay.
I don't care if you feel shitty. I don't care if you feel shitty. There's just so much power and excellence in the fact that you are alive. And that you have survived, and that people have came before you to make sure that you have survived. That is excellent. Even if you don't feel like it is, people on your part have been excellent for you to be here, babe.
Yep.
Okay?
Period.
So I don't care. Black excellence is not a 1 out of a million. It's not the talented. It's everybody, everything at all times. I don't care. And I'm going to die on that hill.
Yeah.
I'm going to die on that hill. And we've always been excellent.
Yeah, always been excellent. We'll continue to be excellent, and I don't even know what isn't black excellence.
I don't either.
Just innovation alone. I think
I don't either.
The black imagination, our innovation is uncapped. Like, it just unmatched. You know, so like for it to be considered a rarity, and we only apply it or use it in certain cases, is disrespectful. Actually,
disrespectful.
A lot of things are very disrespectful, and that is one of them.
Yep.
You know, like that's disrespecting to the people, especially the people that got you here to where you are.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it kind of all
yes,
gets back to...
Yes, it is, yeah. You're great because your ancestors, that is why you're great. Yeah. That's enough. Like, period. Don't down yourself, babe. Period. I love that. That's great. That's a word right there. I felt that.
Write that down.
Yeah, write it down. Okay, so our final segment, our question that we ask all of our topics. Are we mad at it? I'm not.
I'm not mad at it. I just don't, like I was telling you this earlier. I don't know if I use the term. I don't really. My niggas is excellent.
Per. All my niggas is excellent.
Yeah, all my niggas is excellent. We all good. You know? Like, and that's beautiful. And I think just, like, I can say it without, like, having to, I don't know, apply it.
I'm not mad at it. I'm more so questioning it. I think that it's misleading.
Willing to push further.
I think that Black excellence is a little just misleading. I think particularly just because of our last point, like, Blackness is excellent throughout time, inside and outside of time and space and history, in ways that we know not of. You know what I mean? Like, so just to think of it as rare occasions is just not it. So I'm interested for us to push further through that. And I know that there has to be scholarship out there that is like is questioning this, and I don't know, I think we could do a better job of doing it like on a common level, you know?
Yeah.
But I feel like I probably do use the term Black excellence, but Black is excellent. So Black,
I don't even know. Yeah, exactly. Like, do we even need to use
I'm Black,
the
therefore
term?
I'm excellent.
Right, like,
I'm Black, therefore I'm excellent.
Sorry.
Maybe let's use that from now on.
I'm Black, therefore I am excellent.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Excellence is me. Excellence is we. I'm gonna write a song.
Oh.
That's gonna be a song. Anyways. That was it for the topic. But before you go, our final topic, as always, put your name on it.
My favorite segment.
Yeah, I like this too.
As I know, this was a good one that we like kept from our radio show.
Yeah, I like this.
I really appreciate it. Put your name on it.
What are you putting your name on this week?
I don't know. What am I? Grounding, I guess. I feel like I've been fluttering around a lot, and like I haven't been able to like put my feet down, I guess. So I think once I do that, or like I have some space to do that even briefly, I'll be thankful.
Okay.
I can keep pushing on, but
okay.
Yeah.
That's so interesting. I think the first thing that I'm thought to like ask for and manifest for myself is the complete opposite.
Really?
Possibility and imagination. I think is my thing.
Is it the opposite though?
No, yeah, that's what I was about to say. I was about to say, it doesn't have to be the opposite.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be, but I think sometimes when I think of like possibility and imagination, it's very up here, you know, and the opposite of grounded.
Yeah.
But my Virgo self, I'm always gonna be grounded. You know what I mean? Always hoping to be grounded. So maybe I do need to stay down here and look for the possibilities and imagination around me. But possibility and imagination. What are the things I don't do? What are the things I can do? What are the things I should do? I don't know. But you know what? This next week, before we get on this camera again, maybe they will be revealed to me. I'm praying that they'll be revealed to me, and that's what I'm putting my name on.
Period. Thank y'all.
But yeah, we'll see y'all.
We enjoyed it.
Episode 20 next week. Done!